Hello students, again welcome in our video lecture series for class 11 economics. In our last lecture, we discussed the term economics, its different definition, type of goods and activities in the form of economic and non-economic. Today we will further elaborate economics with the nature of economics. So let's start. Nature of economics. Under this heading, we generally discuss whether economics is a science or an art or both. And if it is a science, whether it is a positive science, normative science or both. First of all, we should know what is science. Actually, any subject can be regarded as science if it has all the following features. If it is a systematic body of facts. If it establishes a relationship between cause and effect, if it is capable of measurement, if it has ability to forecast, if laws are derived in it based on experiments. Now, if we consider economics, we find that economics also has the all features of science. Like science, it studies cause and effect relationship between economic phenomena. Let us take an example of law of demand. As the price rises, quantity demanded falls and vice versa, keeping other things constant. Here price is the cause and effect is change in quantity demanded. Similarly, like science, economics is capable of being measured in terms of money. Like science, economics also forecasts the future market conditions with the help of various statistical and non-statistical tools. In economics also, experiments are done not in laboratories but on human behavior. On the basis of above analysis, we can say that economics is science. But remember, it is not a perfect science due to some inherent limitations in it. Like laws of economics are not universally true like science. Laws of economics are applicable under certain conditions usually referred to as other things being equal, which makes these laws less realistic. Second limitation in economics is that money, which is used to measure the outcomes, is itself a dependent variable. And this is a fact that how a thing which is itself dependent can be used for the basis of measurement. Thirdly, the subject matter of economics is human behavior, which is highly unpredictable. Human behavior goes on changing, and how law based on human behavior can be regarded as correct. Predictions in economics are also not always accurate. On the basis of these points, it is proved that economics is science but not perfect science. Now the question arises whether economics is positive science or normative science. For this, we should know the meaning of both these terms. The term positive science means accept what exists. It means as they are. Positive science does not pass value judgments. It does not give moral suggestions. Positive science does not suggest what should be. It focuses only on what is. It does not tell what is right and what is wrong. Professor Lionel Robbins supported this positive aspect of economics. Like prices in India are continuously falling. It is a fact and we have to accept it. This statement is positive. Second, there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. It is also an example of positive science because it is a relationship between cause and effect and which we have to accept as it is. Now, the term normative science. It means what ought to be. It gives moral judgments. It suggests what should be done and what not. It is concerned with welfare propositions. Professor Alfred Marshall and Professor A.C. Pigou supported this side. Like reducing inequalities should be the major priority for mixed economies, it is a suggestion. Secondly, the government ought to guarantee that our income will not fall is also an example of normative aspect of economics. To conclude, we may say that while laying down laws or theories, economics may be treated as pure and positive science, but as a tool of practical application, it must have some normative goals in view. So, it was all about that economics is a science. Now, the next question for our consideration is whether economics is an art also. Yes, our answer is positive. Art means practice of knowledge. Economics is an art because its various branches, consumption, production, etc. provide practical solutions to various economic problems which we face in our day-to-day life. Concluding, under the heading Nature of Economics, it is proved that economics is both a science and an art. Further, it is both positive science and normative science. But students, you should remember economics is not a perfect science due to some inherent limitations in it. Now the term statistics. Statistics is an integral part of economics. Without statistics and its methods, we can't study the subject of economics. We can say that economics is incomplete without the help of statistics. So, it becomes necessary for us to know what is statistics. The literal meaning of statistics is science related to numbers. We can say that statistics is that branch of knowledge which is related to numerical facts. The word statistics is understood by different people in different ways. Example, for some people, statistics means as a set of figures like data of production for different years in industry, while some people feel that statistics means presentation of facts through numbers, charts and diagrams. Actually, in olden days, statistics meant the data in relation to the activities of the state. State means king, government, collected for official purposes. But gradually it gained broader meaning. It means the numeral statements as well as statistical methodology. The English word statistics is derived from German word statistik and Latin word status. Both these foreign language words mean political state. State means government or king. In the beginning, the kings used to collect the data related to population, employees, army, etc. But gradually data started to use in various fields and statistics became a global subject. Definition of statistics can be given in two ways. From grammatical point of view, the word statistics is used in two forms, plural and singular. In plural, it refers to data, while in singular, it means science. On this basis, different definitions of statistics can be divided into two parts. Definition of statistics in plural sense or definition of statistical data, and secondly, definition of statistics in singular sense or definition of statistics as a science. First, we will do statistics in plural sense. The term statistics in plural sense means collection of numerical facts relating to quantitative aspects that are presented systematically, and it involves counting of the items, percentages, averages and various mathematical measurements. Let us see an example. Suppose monthly income of Mr. A and Mr. B is rupees 5,000 and 4,000 per month respectively. it is a statistical statement. It should be kept in mind that only those facts are statistics which may be expressed in figure or numbers. Now, it would be better to study various definitions given by various experts of the subject. According to Dr. A. L. Bowley, statistics are numerical statements of facts in any department of inquiry placed in relation to each other. This definition provides for comparative study of the figures. Now we will do the best and most accepted and most appreciated definition of statistics. And this definition is given by Professor Horace Sechrest, and it is considered as best because it is complete definition of statistical data. Because this definition contains almost all characteristics of statistics, and this definition is as: by statistics we mean aggregate of facts affected to a marked extent by multiplicity of causes, numerically expressed, estimated according to reasonable standards of accuracy, collected in a systematic manner for a predetermined purpose and placed in relation to each other. This above definition covers the following main characteristics of statistics as numerical presentation of facts in plural sense. The first characteristic is that statistics are aggregate of facts. Single and isolated numerical expressions are not called statistics. As such, facts cannot be put in comparison to others. For example, Atul's marks in English are 18 is not statistics. But marks of 10 students in English are 35, 40, 70, 60, 65, 39, 50, 47, 74, 92 is statistics. It is generally said that not a datum but the data are the subject matter of statistics. Students, here I will like to tell you that the word datum is used in singular sense while the term data is used in plural sense. Second characteristic of statistics is that statistics are numerically expressed. Qualitative expressions such as good, bad, young, old, rich, poor do not form part of statistical studies unless they are expressed in numerical forms. For example, the statement, "The students of a particular class are good in English," is not a statistical statement because it is a qualitative statement. This statement suggests that students are good, but it is not expressed in numerical terms. Similarly, the statement like the import in the country is on decrease, the birth rate in India is decreasing are not statistical statements. However, the statement 20 students out of 100 have failed is a statistical statement because it is expressed in numerical terms. Although it is important to note that the qualitative aspect which can be expressed numerically by assigning rank or standard can be treated as statistics. Third characteristic of statistics is that it is affected to a marked extent by multiplicity of causes. Only those numerical facts are studied in statistics which are affected by multiple factors, because only then there will be a need of statistical analysis. The result of a study without keeping in view various reasons would end up in wrong conclusion. For example, the price of wheat in 2000 was rupees 6,000 per quintal and it increased to rupees 20,000 per quintal in 2011. The increase in price may be due to many factors such as increase in demand of wheat, decrease in production, export of wheat or inflationary conditions in the country. So while commenting on price rise of wheat, all connected fact and reasons should be taken into consideration. Now, fourth characteristic of statistics is that it is estimated according to reasonable standards of estimate or accuracy. Sometimes the area of inquiry is very large. Therefore, it is very important that the estimate should be reasonable. If these estimates are very much different from the real fact, then the purpose of the study will be defeated, useless, and the result drawn would be of little use to identify the problem. If the income pattern of Indian middle class is to be estimated, it should be near the real as possible. Fifthly, statistics are collected in a systematic manner. It is essential that data must be collected in a systematic and orderly manner. Otherwise, reasonable level of accuracy in result may not be drawn. Sixth characteristic of statistics is that statistics are collected for predetermined purpose. The collection of only such numerical facts would be called as data, which is done for a predetermined objective. Numerical facts collected without predetermined and definite objective may be group of figures but cannot be considered as data. Last characteristic of statistics are placed in relation to each other. An important objective of collection of data is comparison. And for the purpose of comparison, it is necessary that data must be homogeneous. It would be meaningless to compare the height of man with height of trees because these figures are of a heterogeneous character. Such figures do not come under the category of statistics. Likewise, if we collect figure of the income of Mr. A, height of Mr. B and wealth of Mr. C, they cannot be called as data since these three facts cannot be presented comparably. There is no comparison between the height, wealth and income. In the light of the above mentioned characteristics, it is said that all these statistical data are numerical facts, but remember, all numerical facts are not statistical data. Students, it all was for today. We will keep our today's lecture till it. So, what we did today is the nature of economics and definition of statistics in plural sense with its characteristics. In our next lecture, we will continue this chapter with the functions and importance of statistics and definition of statistics in its singular sense. So, thank you for today.